and welcome to my channel. Today I'm showing you 3 looks using the McGrath Divine Rose palette, the first edition. And I already did a look with this, I'll link it in the cards, when I used the concealer as well. And I fell in love with it, head over heels. So I wanted to do 3 more looks for here on YouTube, so let's get right into the first look. Let's go ahead and do the first look using the McGrath Divine Rose 1 palette. I'm going to prime my eyes using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. I think I'm going to use this eye primer for all 3 the looks. Since doing my first impressions on this palette, I watched a video by Mel Thompson explaining how to properly use these eyeshadows. And I quickly discovered that not only does she use the same eye primer, which is great, but she does actually use very different brushes from mine. So mostly natural haired, and I try to use only synthetic brushes. So that's a big difference. She did one eye with the synthetic brushes and one eye with the natural haired brushes, and they were also differently shaped. And the side with the natural hair brushes looks so much better. And I'm not sure if I have the shapes or the types of brushes that I need, but we're gonna make the best of it. Since it's already a little bit later in the day, I want to make this look super glam because I might not get the opportunity tomorrow and the day after because of classes. So I want to go all out and use at least one of the duochromes and at least one of the glittery shades. I don't know, I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to do a halo eye, and to make it really intense, I'm going to start with the darker shade in the outer and inner corner. So the first shade I'm going into is Extreme Mahogany, which is the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm using the small pencil brush, and I'm going to pack this color in the inner and outer corner. I'm trying not to bring it in too far. I have a sort of natural fold right there. Oh, I'm amazed all over again. These shadows are so nice and pigmented. And I'm blending it out with the same brush. And I'm trying to keep the shape a little bit more round. I feel like these shadows are so good. You could actually just use this darker one and not even blend it out. But I'm going to blend it out. I personally like connecting the halo in the top with a light layer of whatever is left on the brush. You don't have to do that, but that's the way I like to do it. So I can see they're not really even. I actually like this shape better, but let's make them even. Since I started making these YouTube videos, I've discovered that my eye shapes are actually very different. This eye is a little bit more and this one is a little bit more round. And you can definitely see that when I'm doing my eyeshadow, because I did the same thing, but this one is much more low than the other one. So I'm trying to correct that from now on. Now I'm going to blend this out using the lighter matte shade, which is called Wisteria, this one. And I'm going to go half over my bare skin and half over the other color. And I think I went a little bit high with the previous color. But I'm trying to keep a little bit of space underneath my eyebrows. Okay, that blended out nicely. I'm going to clean my brush using the color switch, the Shade and Swap by VII. And now with a clean brush, I'm going to blend out the edges even more. And that's it. At least for the mattes, of course. No, wait, I think I am going to build up the extreme mahogany just a little bit in the outer corner. So now it's time to go into some of these shimmers. I'm going to swatch a couple of them. This is the gold shade. This is the pink duochrome. This is the peach duochrome. And this is the super glittery shade. I feel like I should do the gold with the glittery shade on top. I think that's what we're going to do. So I have this small eyeshadow packing brush and I'm going to see if that's good enough. So I'm picking up the gold shade, which is called Refined Gold 002. I'm really trying to load up the brush with this and I'm going to put that in between the matte shades. Blending over the matte shades just a little bit. And I'm taking it almost up to the brow to make that really nice dramatic look. But I don't think you can see it well enough, so I am going in with my finger and just packing it on a little bit more. And now with my pink, I'm putting the glittery shade on top of that. That's it for the top half of the eyes. I'm going to do my face and then we'll do the lower lash line together. So I'm back with most of my makeup on. And let's do the lower lash line. With the same small packing brush, I think I'm going into the peachy duochrome, which is called VR Rose Venus. I'm also putting it in the inner corner. I think it complements the eye look quite well. But I definitely have to agree with Mel Thompson. These fluffier brushes really don't work properly with these tighter packed shades. Okay, I'm missing some depth underneath the lower lash line, so I'm going into extreme mahogany and going to darken up the outer corner underneath the lower lash line a little bit. That looks a lot better. Okay, let me put on some mascara and I'll be right back. So I put some Charlotte Tilbury Copper Charge Duo Eyeliner, the metallic side, in my waterline. And then I did a light layer of mascara because this mascara only does light layers. Definitely would look better with a couple of lashes, but I'm in a bit of a rush, so I'm going to skip that. I thought we could finish the look together. So I still have blush, highlighter and lips to go. For blush, I'm using the BH Vanilla Strawberry palette and I'm going into the peachy shade over here. I picked this out with the intention to do a bright pink, but I actually think with the gold that's not really appropriate anymore. So a little bit of blush. And then for highlight, I'm going into the Hourglass palette that I also used for my bronzer. I'm picking up my heavily packed brush by Essence and I'm going to use this highlighter. Maybe a golden highlighter would have been better. But I didn't think of that on time. Well, this is also nice. And to finish it off, I'm going into my Les Chocolat lipstick in 842, which has a bit of a mauvey pink undertone. This always smells so good. And that's the first look all done. I guess this is more of a bronzy look than it is a Divine Rose look. But I like it. Next time I'll definitely choose different face and lip products with it, but still, I'd count this as a success. Hello, well, welcome to look number 2. It's actually a little bit later than I was planning to film, so I am able to do another very glam look if I want to. And I want to. So we're going to do a very heavy smoky eye, I think. Maybe with the browns and a little bit of the rose gold. Let's see where this palette takes us. I'm going to start off using this compact fluffy brush by Essence. And I'm going into the shade Valoria, which is the lighter matte. This one. And I'm just going to put this in the crease. Oh, by the way, I primed my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer again. I'm not really trying to focus this any lower than above the crease because that's where I'm going to put other colors. I'm just making sure that on top of the crease is blended out. Just like that. And now I'm going into Extreme Mahogany, which is this shade over here. And I'm going to put that a little bit lower. And I think I'm also going to put this on the lid. I'm really trying to make this very dark, so I'm going in with a second layer, and as you can see, this really intensifies it even more. I think I'm going for another pretty round shape again. I really like this color. It's very nice. It's sort of chocolate brown with a little bit of a purple undertone. It's perfect. Now, just to make sure that everything is blended seamlessly, I'm cleaning up my brush and I'm going into the first matte again, and I'm going to blend out the upper edge. Okay, so I guess I just filled it up all the way. Maybe I'll add a little bit of a brow bone highlight later. Now we have some nice options here. We have this shade over here and this more brownish shade over there. And I think I'm going into the more brownish shade. Let's see how it works with a brush first. So this is the shade Sable Bronze. I'm taking this big packing brush from Too Faced, really packing on the color and just putting that all over the lid. As expected, there's a lot of fallout with this. Let me see how it is when I use a finger. That's nice. These shimmers are so opaque that you have to be careful not to go too high. So I'm going in with my original brush and I'm just going to blend out, make sure that the shimmer doesn't come too high. But I really like this. But I am going to put a little bit of VR Rose Venus, which is the peachy duochrome, on another finger, and I'm just going to put that right in the center. just to give it a little bit of a softer shine. And just like that, the top half is already done. I'll do some of my face makeup and I'll see you in a little bit. So I'm back with most of my face makeup on. And I've used the Huda foundation with a new primer today, or at least a new primer combination. So I used the Lancôme La Base, and now it's spread out so much easier and I think it looks so much better. So I didn't use anything like highlighter on top, and still, now it has that luminous matte finish that they were talking about. So in case you were wondering, so far so good with the Huda foundation. Now let's go into the lower lash line. I think it would be nice to just do a very simple lower lash line using Extreme Mahogany first and really smoke it out quite a bit. This shade is just so wonderful. Such a pretty shade. And then I think I'm going to put a little bit of Sable Bronze on top, which is the shade I used on the lid. I did get a little bit of fallout. Let's see if that wipes away. Okay, I guess it doesn't wipe away completely. You can see here. Okay, I'll go over with a little bit of powder later. Now I want to finish it up using something of a lighter shade. So I think I'm going into Refined Gold 002. And I'm going to put this in the inner corners. And then finally I'm taking my initial brush and I'm just going to blend out the edges a little bit. Now let me put on some lashes and then we can finish the face together. So I'm back and I also did my brows, but as you can see I went a little bit overboard with them. I don't know if I like this look. Now let's put on some blush and highlighter and lips together. For blush I thought I'd use my Chanel Rose Initial, which has a little bit more of a peachy undertone. I used a different brow pencil today and I think it was way too dark for me. So now I know that I shouldn't be using too dark of an eyebrow pencil. And then for highlighter I thought I'd do something gold. So I'm going into the golden shade, the pale golden shade in the Dior Backstage palette. And I think that will really make the look come together. Just a little bit more. And then finally we need a lipstick. So I thought let's use 402 Adrienne by Chanel, which is a nice peachy nude. Or even a little bit of a brown nude. Now the eyebrows don't seem so bad anymore. I'm still going to use another pencil in the future, but this is my super glam look with this palette, and I gotta say I keep loving it more and more. It really is a very versatile palette. So tomorrow let's do a lighter pink look and then that's going to be it. It's time to do the third and final look. And today I'm going to keep it a little bit more simple and a little bit more pink. I already primed my eyes as I did with the first two looks. So I'm going in with my small blending brush by Essence. And I'm going into the shade Valoria again, which is the lighter matte. And I'm just going to put this on the outside of the crease and in the outer corner. I'm trying to keep it a little bit lower. going to build it up a little bit more. Just like that. And now I want to use the pink duochrome, which is called Iridescent Pink 003, which is this shade over here, which is actually a little bit more pink when you put it on the eye. So I'm going to see if this works with a brush. So I'm using this pointy packing brush, putting quite a bit of pigment on the brush. Just so I can get into the inner corner a little bit better. Okay, so I feel like maybe with my finger I can get a better result. This is a little bit more of a thinner texture. You have to put in a little bit more effort for this one, but definitely in real life it looks very pretty. Not sure how it picks up on camera. And now I think I'm going to take this pencil brush and I'm going in to a shade we haven't used yet, Rose Dusk, which is this middle metallic shade. And I think I'm going to put this in the outer corner. Just to add a little bit of something special. With the same brush I used for Iridescent Pink, I think I'm going into Skin Show Nude, which is this white shade. And I'm going to put a little bit underneath my brow as a highlight. And I think I'm also going to put that in the inner corner once we're ready. I like this shade, this Iridescent Pink, but it doesn't really show up very bright. So I'm not too sure about that one. That's the top part of the eyes all done. I'll do my face makeup and I'll be right back. I'm back with most of my face makeup on, and let's do the lower lash line. I think I want to go into the shade Lovelace, which is this shade over here. And with my pencil brush, I'm going to tap this on the lower lash line. Mainly on the outer half. And then with the excess, I also do the middle part. There's quite a bit of fallout with this palette, so that's a bit of a shame. But the colors are beautiful. Now this could be it, but I want to glam it up just a little bit. So I think I'm going into Lovelace, which was Skin Show Nude, I mean, which was the white, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner. It's actually a little bit more of a champagne. And also a little bit more right on the highest points of my brow. Because I do like that effect every now and then. And then with the same brush, I'm going into Extreme Mahogany, which is the darkest shade. And I'm just going to intensify the outer corner a little bit. Using very delicate stepping motions. Just like that. And then with my original fluffy brush, I'm going to soften the edges here a little bit. And that's it. That's the eye look all done. I'll add some mascara and eyeliner and we'll finish the face together. And that's the eyes all done. I also filled in my brows. I did a little bit of liquid eyeliner on top and I used my Romance eyeliner from Chanel in the waterline. Definitely a bit more of a softer look, but I thought that was appropriate. Now I'm going into my Vanilla Truffle palette again for my blush. And this time I'm going into this more pinky shade with a slight sheen in it. And I'm going to put it a little bit higher to give a little bit more of a cute appearance. Just like that. And then for highlighter I'm going into my very recent new favorite, which is the Dior Luminizer in 002 Pink. And I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush and just highlight a little bit on top of the blush we just applied, to make the highlight also a bit more pink. This is such a beautiful highlighter. I'm so happy I bought this. You really can't go overboard with this highlighter, it's beautiful. Then I want to melt the powders a little bit, so I'm going into my Parure Gold Mist from Guerlain, which smells great. Now all we need is a lip. I'm thinking, because we are a little bit more burgundy, maybe my new Chanel lipstick, the Rouge Allure Lac, in shade number 65. Let's give it a try. Because the eyes are a little bit more soft, maybe it'll work out. Okay, this is not the most flattering combination, but let me finish it. No, I think it's going to work. I'm just going to go with it. So this is my finished third look. I hope you enjoyed watching me create these looks with the Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette. I definitely had a lot of fun with these. I hope it inspired you and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!